Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylin and today it is time for my monthly palette ranking where I go through and rank from worst to best all of the palettes that I used this month. Some of these are older releases, some of these are newer releases, and it's just a way to kind of stack up and let you know, is the new stuff better than the old stuff? What's standing the test of time? What's like, maybe it was good when it came out, but it's kind of now. And yeah, look at eyeshadow, which is my favorite part of makeup. So if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It's totally free to subscribe, and I would love to have you again back on the channel. I just finished a giveaway on my channel as well. So the winner of that's going to be in the comments of that video if you're looking for the giveaway winner. And even if you didn't win this time around, stick around, stay subscribed, or subscribe if you are new, because I usually do a giveaway like every 50 subscribers or so, and I'm only like 13 subscribers away from doing another giveaway, so it shouldn't be long at all and you'll get another chance for some goodies. So let's go ahead and get to the bottom of our ranking. At number 13 is the Colourpop Honey. Now this was the palette that I made my first YouTube video with, like my first thing I uploaded on my channel. And this one, it's not that the formula, I don't know, like it's still fine, but the shimmers in this aren't as spectacular or impressive in my opinion as some of Colourpop's newer stuff. And it does have a pressed glitter, and unless you want to do something yellow, like it's very one-toned, obviously it's a monochromatic palette, so it's not bad. It's just really not something I reach for at all. Like if I want to do a special video or if I really wanted something yellow, it has its time and place, but I just don't reach for it that much. So it's kind of a preference thing, right? So my ranking, some of it might just have to do with color story, some of it might have to do with formula, some of it's like just personal preference and mood. But there's none of the palettes in this ranking this month that I would say are like bad or not good or that I didn't like or that I like don't want in my collection anymore. Number 12 is the Pure X Barbie collab that came out multiple years ago. Obviously, with all things Barbie, we had to revisit this one this month. I still love the packaging. I love the scent. Even the color story is fine, but I, again, just don't really reach for this one that much. It is pretty neutral with just like a pop of pink and a pop of blue. And again, it has a pressed glitter that those are not eye safe if you're not aware. So sometimes I'll use them for a little like face sparkle, but I don't put them on my eyes because I don't even want to risk any sort of scratch cornea craft glitter-esque type situation, but that's just me. You do whatever you want. Number 11 is also Colourpop, and it is this little Labelle of the Ball Animal Crossing collab quad. It's all kind of lilac purpley, and I used every single shade in this palette when I did the look. This one is a pressed glitter, but again, like I just said, I did do that one on my cheek, and yeah, I actually got a lot of compliments that people were like, ooh, what's that highlighter? And it was not even technically a highlighter, right? It was like a pressed glitter for the eyes. But this one's cute. It's just very one-toned, obviously, because again, it is monochromatic. So it's cute for what it is, but it's again, like only if you want that one specific look. That's all you're going to be doing with it. And number 10 was Alamar Cosmetics Spanglish palette. I had never tried their eyeshadow palette formula before, and I've seen Kathleen Lights talk a bit about this palette before previously. Here's the packaging, and I like how it opens up like a little book. These were really, really nice. Some of these, like this, I could actually see using as a blush as well, and I love a palette that you can have like multiple uses for. So there's the color story. I haven't played with it a lot. When I use this, I did not use a glitter primer, like a glitter glue, and I feel like these would be even more impactful. But it's kind of like half neutral, half like peachy. There is some like purple pink, but even the peach I feel like leans neutral, so it's not bad. I enjoyed it a lot, but like usually in my rankings the top stuff is like the special shades, right? Something that's shifty, multi-chrome, texture, something like that. That's just my personal preference, and this doesn't include anything like that. So it's not bad, but I just liked some other things better than this one this month. And number 9 from Colourpop is the Cabana Club palette. I used a lot of Colourpop this month. I'm just now realizing without even trying to. So this one I had in my best palettes for summer video. I'll leave that one linked in the cards if you haven't seen it. But look at it. Isn't that just a vacation? I mean, it's giving pool. It's giving cabana. I mean, obviously it's called the Cabana Club, so but this one's really nice too. Even this one you could use some as blush. There's the nice like pool teal color pop. You've got a few like deepening darkening shades. That was hard to say for some reason for like the outer corner. I like to use the dark navy as eyeliner a lot. I did that with a look with this palette, and another pop of yellow. So lots of different directions you could go with this one, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It again is not like, oh my goodness, life-changing, but it was good, and I've liked the color story for summer like right now. Number 9 is another Colourpop. I promise it's not all Colourpop and there's other brands, so stick with me here for a minute. This one is the At Forest Sight by Colourpop in collaboration with Raw Beauty Christy, and I now have used for sure like every single shade in here, and this one is a little more autumnal, fall, right? But I think I was doing like some warm tones, which could be fall, but I don't know, it was kind of like sunset summery-ish. Not that you have to wear certain colors or certain makeup at a certain time of the year. You can do whatever you want, but I do personally kind of like to change my moods with my makeup. And I just automatically, no matter what time of year, I feel like lean more towards fall and grungy and stuff. This one's not too grungy, but it's definitely fall. With my eyes and my hair, I do feel like warm tones flatter me pretty well, like more than other color stories. So this one's not as summer like the Cabana, but I do like it a little bit more color story wise. And it's got like a nice Super Shock shade in there, right? Which the Cabana does too, but it's got like duochrome flip like brown green stuff in there in the At Forest Sight that I really like. Okay, and then last Colourpop palette, and I promise you I will shut up about them, the All Amethyst palette. And purple and green are just like my favorite eyeshadows, so that's really why this one is higher than the others. And this one is a 9pan, so it's a little bit smaller than the last couple. I'm keeping the plastic on when I show you because I traveled like on the plane with this one, and this shade got a little damaged. It's a little messy, so I'm trying to hold it up to you and show you, but not make a mess. So it is just like some cool tones, some warm tones as far as purple, and then like a pop of brown. So I don't know, yes, it's monochromatic, but I still like it better than like the yellow monochromatic, and it gives you a little more options than the Labelle of the Ball Colourpop, with that one just being a quad, so that's why I put this one here. And number 6 from Laura Lee Los Angeles is their Party Animal palette. I have actually really loved pairing this with my singles. So this one has a bunch of bright colors, and most of them are mattes. This one is shimmery, but I feel like it's one of those kind of like mattes with shimmers and not really like a metallic. At least that's how I use it. And yeah, I've paired these with a lot of my Glaminatrix singles, and they've just looked really good together. These are really pigmented, but they're also not like overwhelming. Like I feel like you can get a sheer wash of these colors, or you can build it up to be really, really bright. But yeah, these have really shockingly, I feel like, stood up even though they are years old. I have several of these little tiny size palettes from Laura Lee Los Angeles, and yeah, I just hadn't played with like brights in a while. And while I was doing show choir camp last week, yeah, all last week, I was wearing like bright shirts, colored shirts, just to be fun, pop of summer color, whatever, and I was matching the shirts to the eyeshadow like in the crease for the matte, and then putting some sort of like shifty reflective shimmer on, and it was just fun to me. I like to match my clothes and my makeup. Let me know in the comments if you're like that too. All right, top 5 of July. Number 5 is the Michaela Pot 2 collab with Glamlight. I really like Glamlight's shimmer formula. It is really nice for like a standard shimmer, meaning it's not like a duochrome or a multi-chrome, but for it being like just a metallic or just a shimmer, I think they have like some of the best quality, just like really reflective without being pressed glitter. I love green and purple, so that doesn't hurt here, right? I could kind of take or leave the blues, to be honest, but I do really like this one, and the look I did was like more blue even, and they've got neutral, so just huge, which can be kind of overwhelming sometimes, which I think is why it's not any higher than this, but the quality made it so I had to put it here. And I love this packaging. I'm really hoping that the seam that holds all of that in doesn't have something weird happen to it, because that happened to my Michaela, like the first collab palette that I have from them, and every time I open that palette and try to use it, the stuff on the inside like comes out, like it's messy. It's a problem. So hope for me that that doesn't happen with this one. And number 4 from Fantasy Cosmetica is the Druid palette. So this one again is a little more like autumn instead of summer, but just I feel that vibe sometimes. And you can go pretty neutral with this one as well, because like this, you know, there's a warm brown and this is more of like a champagne shimmer, but there's just some really fun cool duochromes in this one as well. They have some of them that are smoother and some of that kind of like a squishy putty formula, if you've ever experienced that. But here is the palette. If you haven't seen it, different shades are gonna look kind of different as I'm moving it around, especially the shimmers. Some of them, like this middle, are just like a one shade, like it's not a dual or a multi-chrome, but they are still highly reflective. And I just love the theming, you know, the D&D, the classes that this brand does, and all of the packaging and just the thoughts that go behind the design and the collections of this brand. So that is part of the experience and what I love about certain eyeshadow palettes to me. And number 3 from Blend Bunny is the All Done Up palette. This one or Dollhouse I think are my favorite from them, just because they're like, I don't know, they're neutral, but they're not quite. Like those shades on the top that are like kind of pastel, they're great for blending out. I mean, the brand's called Blend Bunny, right? Like it makes sense. Midtones, deepening shades, and a shimmer. It's like perfect. Like you just go down the column and you have a look. Obviously you can mix and match, but I love this for like a, I need it to look good, but I don't want to think about it. That's what this palette is for me. And there's a lot of days like that where I'm like, okay, I want to look great, but I don't want to think about it. I just got back from my bachelorette weekend, and when we went out, the night we went out like for dinner and stuff like that, I wore this palette, and I got really like a lot of compliments from the bridesmaids and bridesmen that are on my bridal party, like in my party, about how like glitzy the shimmers looked in this, especially because we went to like a vineyard and they had like low lighting, and it just really picked up the sparkles and the reflections and the shimmers in this and looked so good. And they were like, what are you wearing? And like, there's nothing wrong with this per se, but like a lot of them are like, you know, they're still wearing their naked palettes from Urban Decay. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be on my high horse and look down, but like, you know, if you know indie brands, Urban Decay ain't making nothing like that. They are not making anything like what Blend Bunny is doing as far as shimmers especially are concerned. So they're like, what is that? Oh my gosh, it's so reflective. I don't have anything like that. And one of the girls was, I was talking to her too about Electrum Cosmetics. This is like, if you want glitzy, like let me show you something. She was like, you're kidding. Oh my gosh, like I'm looking at putting it in my cart right now. So yeah, sorry, side note, but I've loved this one, and it is number 3 this month. Number 2 from Glaminatrix Cosmetics is the Into the Night palette. I was not 100% sure about this color story, but I've always loved their formula, and this was limited edition. Oh, look at it. It's such a pretty blue. It reminds me of my Dyson. I have the limited edition Dyson Airwrap that's like this color. I love this color. It's like blue indigo. So here's the palette, and this one has been wonderful. I think I mentioned in a video a while ago, I was kind of scared of this format from Glaminatrix because I did not have a good time with the formula in the, oh, what's the palette called? please hold. Nocturnal. I didn't have a good time with the Nocturnal palette. Like, it was really dry and crumbly for me personally. But then I didn't have issues with the Nearly Natural or Nearly Neutral, whatever it's called. And I love the U Beauty palette. So I went ahead and used this one. I have the Glamorous palette. Haven't used it. It's in my pile of shame. And this is great. This is amazing. It's a lot more wearable than I thought. And this is what I'm wearing when I did my Barbie look. I'll leave that video link too if you haven't seen the Barbie movie yet. I haven't either, but literally every single person I've talked to that has seen it has loved it. So I need to get there. I need to get my crap together and get to the theater and see Barbie. I might recreate my look from that video, honestly, the Barbie one, because I liked it so much. Okay, number one, best palette that I used this month. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. I'm like barely wearing any makeup right now because I just got back from my bachelorette weekend like earlier today, and as you can tell, I'm slightly dying. But you know, that means we did it right. But anyway, this is the number one because I want to put a little something on to film. This is the best to just like tap a little or use a flat brush and put a little, and it's like 1 or 2 shades out the door, but it looks so put together. It's an all shimmer palette, so you might think it's a companion palette. It's from Unearthly Cosmetics. It is called the Unforeseen palette. It's all shimmers, but they are all super like textured. Looks like one of them broke a little, so I'm gonna hold it kind of like this. I'm wearing Chance, which is this one on the outer corners, and Surprising, which is this one on the inside. I don't know if you can even tell that they're 2 different colors because I like used my finger to really sheer it out. And you might not be able to see how glitzy it is under, I have like softbox photography like lighting, so it's like a little like studio lighting, you know, not like legit studio lighting, but you know what I mean. Not natural lighting per se, so I don't know how much you'll be able to see the reflection, but it's something. It's amazing. I love textured shadows like this. I love shifty shadows like this. I love the like putty kind of feeling formula, and this whole palette is that. There's like pinkies, there's green, there's purple, and then there is a crazy silver in here. This one is my favorite just because, again, it's the special shades. I love the special shades. I always have since I discovered them, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. So yeah, guys, those are all the palettes I used in the month of July. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think of the palettes? What do you think of the ranking? What have you been using this month? I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye!